when school is out. But
Right.
just that brought up something. Two of our favorite, or my favorite events, is both in swimming and track. We hold a grandparent-grandchild relay.
Oh, how fun.
And,
it's kind of
you
like
know,
that three-legged race.
It is, but in track, each person runs 50 meters, and in the pool, each participant swims 25 yards.
Oh,
and it goes all the way from, real itty-bitty up to, 21 years old. And it's the bonding between the grandparent and that child and doing something together.
Our regular viewers know that I am a big supporter of intergenerational programs. That, to me, is the best of all, where a youngster can look at grandma and grandpa and feel connected to them and participate in their life. And as you know, that's a two-way street. It helps improve everybody's attitude.
Absolutely.
Now, we're going to be giving contact information, but before we put it up on the screen, is it easy to contact you and for people to make themselves available and to register?
Yeah, it's very easy. The best way to do it is to go to our website,
Yes.
which is www.pasadenaseniorcenter.org.
Okay.
And
all one word,
all
of
one
course,
word,
lowercase,
all lowercase,
Pasadena Senior Center.
.org.
.org. All right.
And then follow the link to Senior Olympics.
I got you.
And we'll have email, it'll have phone numbers. We're extremely accessible.
Well, let's do a brief sketch, some of the games. You've mentioned 26 events, like bowling.
You start in the alphabet on A and you work down to E.
I
So
see, okay.
Start with archery.
Archery, all right.
Go to badminton, bowling, billiards.
Oh, this is like a test here.
Golf, powerlifting, race walk, road race, and there is a difference between race walk and the road race. Swimming, softball, co-ed softball, track and field, table tennis, volleyball,
Wrestling?
powerlifting.
Powerlifting, that's what I was thinking.
Wow.
Cycling.
Fun.
And I must have missed one, but rope climb, push-ups, and pull-ups.
Well,
So maybe I think that's going to be awful
we
close
are.
to the 26.
Well,
yeah.
let me give you a visual here. Aging in L.A. visited the swimming competition held at the AAF Rose Bowl Aquatic Center in Pasadena. So let's all take a look at some of the participants.
We're from Tuolumne County Aquatic Masters, and we are here supporting our Miwok Indian sister, Zandra Belts. And Zandra is the only Native American swimmer in Pacific Masters. And this is an ancient drum, actually, and a Miwok artifact. And when Zandra swims, we always play the drum for her so she can feel her ancient vibrations and swim to the joy and rhythm of the drum in the water.
A longtime participant at the Senior Olympics, Vivian Stansfield is visually impaired, but that doesn't stop her from taking part in the games. We asked her what prompted her to start swimming.
I weighed so much, and the doctor told me that if I didn't get the weight off, that I wouldn't see my 60th birthday. I wouldn't see my grandchildren. And so I've been practicing and making mistakes and doing well. And I think this is great for me because it gives me something to look for in life. I tell other people about the Senior Olympics. I'm visually impaired, and it's called retinitis pigmentosus, and it's only 1,000 cases in the United States. They don't have a cure for it at the moment. I'm here to encourage other people to get involved, regardless of from 9 to 99.
Wow, what a great time. That's a very effective person there. Good on Vivian.
Very inspiring.
Now, we'll see, talk to some other competitors later in the program, but it's not always about winning, is it? Sometimes people can sort of re-engage with life by being involved in sports.
Yeah, I think it's that. It's about participating. I think that's the most important thing, that they get out there and do it. What we find, and I know Kathy would agree to it, are the friendships that are being developed through this, and the camaraderie, and
That's a very important part.
Yeah, you could walk into a track, 15 years ago, and all of a sudden, Kathy and Bert now have this whole other extended family in the track club, and I think that's almost more important than winning the medal.
Are there volunteer opportunities too? I mean, every organization is short volunteers. Someone, pardon the pun, can sort of dip their toe in, so to speak.
Absolutely. We've had a number of people that have volunteered just wanting to see what it's like.
Right.
And then the next year they'll come out and do it. Because I think to some it's intimidating.
Well, sure.
You're exposing yourself. And,
of course.
you're putting yourself on the line. So that's a great way to just get your feet wet on it.
Okay. Do you find yourself sort of planning your year around the various events? Yes.
Oh, yes.
Well, now, as a statewide organization, are the meets held all up and down the state?
Right now they're held in, I believe it's 8 communities. Between mostly here in Southern California. There are 2 in Northern California right now, and the other 6 here in Southern California.
Okay, well, excuse me, it's time for a short break. When we return, we'll resume our discussion of the California State Senior Olympics. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey, buddy, don't you know you should never leave a cooking pan unattended? And a working smoke detector can warn you of a fire, like the one behind me. My hero!
Next time, listen to the ball. Have a smoke detector and a fire extinguisher that work.
How'd you know?
The ball called.
Before approaching an intersection, so that's why 2 wrong turns don't make a right turn. Now let's learn about tailgating.
Hey, that's how I got my ticket.
You got a ticket for tailgating? That's not good. That can be really annoying.
Doesn't get you there any faster.
It leaves you no distance to brake.
Which makes it easier to get into a crash.
And it also may increase your insurance premium. And I hate tailgaters. Tailgating causes crashes. Back off. Watch the road.
Welcome back to Aging in L.A. Our topic today, the California State Senior Olympics held recently in the Los Angeles area. Our guests are event organizer Cynthia Rosedale and athlete Kathy Bergen. Thank you again for joining us. We were just discussing not only the volunteer help that's needed to run something. I mean, track meet takes a lot of people, but this is a .org. This is a foundation, so donations are important as well.
We could not run or do what we do. We couldn't run the event without significant sponsorship. And I would say probably 25% of the people who participate donate in some, and we're nonprofits, so it's all tax
deductible. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's an expensive event to run. Our
sure.
budget is about, depending upon a qualifying or non-qualifying year, but the budget runs about $95,000.
I got you. Well, that's a drop in the bucket for Nike.
We would love it. Absolutely.
Oh, Mr. Knight, if you're listening, this is a...
Please.
Actually, it's a good cause.
It's a great cause.
But with track and field, there's not much expense beyond a good set of sneakers and
Well, I believe the expense to the organization is for the officials, for the venue,
of course.
for the certification. I think it has
Right. No, I
sanction.
understand that. But for the individual competitor, I mean,
Right.
if you're race walking, what do you need? A pair of shorts and a tank
Right.
top, right?
Very unlike golf, where golf
Right.
is very,
Whoa.
equipment-wise.
Brutally
Or
expensive.
cycling. Some of our cyclers,
Yeah.
their bikes are worth in the neighborhood of $5,000.
I know, isn't it?
It's
But they
amazing.
are amazing. These
Yeah,
carbon
they are.
fiber weigh 5 pounds.
right.
That's really astonishing. Now, in the first half of our program, we watched the swimming competition. Let's take a look at senior athletes competing in racquetball, badminton, basketball, and bowling events. '86-year-old Bill Tom competed in the Worldwide Olympics in 1956. Then as a senior, he took up badminton.
I teach junior high school here for 8 years. One of the colleagues, he played badminton. So at noontime, he said, "Hey, Mr. Tom, come and play some game at noon. We'll pay for ice cream after lunch." I was buying him ice cream all semester. Then the year I went to Taiwan, I learned a few things, but that's the Asian game. I came back, he buying me ice cream.
Wow, that looks like fun. It seems that they're having a good time.
They love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's so many that look forward to it every year.
Well, I'm sure. And then, like you, Kathy, you can look to really having an edge when you hit that next age qualifying level.
But the Pasadena Senior Games is always my favorite.
Yeah.
I think because of the wonderful experience we had for the first time when I met Cynthia and several of the competitors that I'm still seeing now.
Well, how many events do you participate in per year?
Track meets? Probably about 10 when I'm healthy.
Wow, that's great. Now, I would imagine you have to have some special health concerns. I mean, you want people to be fit, obviously, going into this, but But sports injuries are common at any age.
They're very common. And one of the prerequisites that we have at all the high-profile events is have emergency medical team and staff
good.
on site.
That's very important.
And they're hidden things. I mean, we have had a couple of people, we've lost a couple of people.
Right, but people shouldn't be intimidated by that.
No,
I mean,
absolutely not.
you get up in the morning and you can fall in the bathroom.
Yeah. I mean, the worst thing that happened this year is a woman basketball player broke a fingernail.
Oh,
So,
my
knock
gosh.
on wood, that's, yeah.
A calamity.
It was. It was. For
It
her,
can
it
be.
was.
Well, before we leave, again, the contact information to reach you, Cynthia.
Is the website at
Yes.
www.pasadenaseniorcenter.org, or they can email me at cynthiar@pasadenaseniorcenter.org.
Fabulous. Unfortunately, our time is up for today's Aging in LA program. Thanks so much to our guests from the California State Olympics program, event organizer Cynthia Rosedale, and world-class athlete Kathy Bergen. And now, it's time for today's Senior Stat Shot. For older adults and seniors who want to stay healthy and independent, the National Institute of Health recommends 4 types of exercises: strength and weight-bearing exercises to build muscle and increase metabolism, balance exercises to improve posture, strengthen muscles, and help prevent falls, stretching exercises to improve freedom of movement, then endurance exercises such as walking and swimming to improve heart health and increase metabolism. Always check with your doctor before starting an exercise program. Now, if you are interested in trying a particular sport or activity, join a club and enjoy the company of like-minded adults who enjoy the same activity. Many clubs will offer you a free trial period so that you can find out if it's right for you. Find inexpensive or free exercise classes for older adults at your local senior centers, YMCAs, and community colleges. Try to be active for at least 30 minutes each day, walking your dog, doing yard work, walking around the mall, and even doing housework or gardening will help. Gentle yoga and Tai Chi can be good for the mind as well as the body. And that's today's Senior Stat Shot. The Los Angeles Department of Aging produces this program with City View, Channel 35, so that seniors living in Los Angeles and surrounding communities are well informed on the many issues that face them in everyday life, and also to let you know of the many services that the Department of Aging offers our senior citizens. Now, we'd like to hear from you with comments on the program, what you like, what you think can be improved, and your ideas for future programs. Please give us a call. The number's right there on your screen, area code 213-252-4088. That's 213-252-4088. Call us with your comments and ideas. We look forward to hearing from you. I'm Paul Peterson for the Los Angeles Department of Aging, the people here at City View, Channel 35, and all of our guests on Aging in LA. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you the next time. Cynthia, thank you so much for making time.
I'll be home in a minute.
Well, the party's just getting started, so hurry home, honey.
Talk to you later.
Yes, good job.
Slow down. Your family is waiting for you. Watch the road.
Hi, I'm Nina. This is my daughter Miranda, and we live in Silver Lake. We love the cultural diversity of Los Angeles. You're watching LA City View, Channel 35. Our city, our channel.
meets 3 days a week on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All meetings are open to the public, and for those who cannot make it to City Hall, meetings are televised on cable on Channel 35 or can be viewed by visiting our website at www.lacity.org. Audio of our meetings is available by council phone by dialing 213-621-CITY. I'm Council President Pro Tem Jan Perry, and I would like the clerk to call the roll, please.
Alarcon, Cardenas, Englander, Hahn, Weezer, Caress, Krikorian, Labange, Parks, Perry, Reyes, Rosendahl, Wesson, Zine, Garcetti. 12 members present and a quorum, Madam President.
All right. What is our first order of business?
Approval of the minutes.
Mr. Rosendahl moves. Mr. Krikorian seconds.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Mr. Zine moves. Ms. Hahn seconds.
Madam President, today is Tuesday. Would you like to the flag?
All right. If Ms. Hahn would rise and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you all rise in the chamber?
Thank you. Please join me in saluting our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Someday.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hahn. Madam Clerk, what's the next item before us? We don't have very many cards here in the box.
Items 1 and 2 are Department of Building and Safety liens notice for public hearing.
All right, Mr. Rosendahl.
Continue, Madam President, until the 19th of July.
Which item?
Item 1.
All right, Mr. Rosendahl requests a continuance on item 1 until July 19th, and that will be without objection. Next item. I'll open the roll on the remaining item, please.
No, we're doing 1 and 2 now.
Okay. Okay, and also, Madam Clerk, we'd like to continue. Okay, open the roll on 2. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
Thank you. I would like a continuance on item 3 until July 26th. So that'll be without objection. Next item.
Items 4 through 11 are items for which public hearings have been held. Item 7 are the Workforce Investment Board appointments. A motion is required. Do you wish to hold this on the desk?
All right. Members, any specials on any of these items? We need a motion on which item, ma'am?
Item number 7.
All right. On the WIB. Do we need to continue that item? Or just, can I ask someone to make a motion? It probably would have come from Mr. Wesson's committee, but he is out this week. We'll hold that item on the desk then. All right. Open the roll on the remaining items. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
Next order of business.
Items 12 through 24 are items for which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes required for consideration.
Okay, Mr. Rosendahl, you have a special? 17 called special by Mr. Rosendahl. Mr. Koretz?
22 I'd like to have received and filed.
All right, we'll receive and file 22 without objection. Mr. Parks?
Yes, I'd just like to make a technical amendment for item 15. The committee report failed to identify the reason for the receive and file is that the Second Court of Appeal denied the appeal on May 31st, 2011.
All right, let me just check with the city attorney. Mr. City Attorney, should we re-vote on that item with the clarification that Mr. Parks has just offered?
I believe so, yes.
All right. Okay, we'll vote on that item in numerical order. Any other specials, members? All right, let's open the roll on the remaining items. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
Okay, next order of business.
Now would be the time for general public comment or items called special.
I'm sorry, ma'am?
General public comment.
All right. All right, we have one card here this morning for public comment from Phyllis Dougherty. Phyllis?
Good morning, council members. Phyllis Doherty, the Animal Issues Movement. I spoke with you before about a bully show that was planned at Venice. This type of pit bull and this type of activity that is going on. This is not just some little dog. These people now apparently have applied for a permit at Hansen Dam and are moving the show on July 9th to that location. That will be in Councilman Cardenas' district, and the permit is issued, I understand, by the Army Corps of Engineers. However, the Department of Recreation and Parks has to also approve it. I understand it has not been approved. We are asking you to please look into this. We have contacted Councilman Cardenas' office. It will also affect Councilman Zine, Koretz, and the new councilman, Councilman Englander's district. There will be thousands of people driving in cars with these dogs. You saw the number of dogs that were just on one page. I also want to show you something that here's this puppy after a bully show being advertised with beer. This is the type of activity. We've taken action against laws in Arizona. We have breeding bans and spay-neuter ordinances. We're going to ban puppies from puppy mills, and yet we are going to allow this type of activity to take place in our city. At least we should issue a resolution about this. Someone in the city should be interested that this is going on. This is dangerous not only on the face. There are more, as an officer said when we went, there are more parolees and pit bulls than you will ever see in one place. It also morally to allow the children of the city to believe that this is the way you live and this is the way you succeed is a very poor example.
Thank you very much. That marks the end of our public comment period. So we will go to the first item on the board. What is the first item, Madam Clerk?
Item number 7.
Right.
Motion is required.
I'm sorry. There's no card on item 7. Who called it special?
It was being held. A motion is required for number 7.
All right. Item number 7 was being held on the desk. Why don't we continue to hold that one on the desk? Next item.
Item number 17, called special by Councilmember Rosendahl.
Mr. Rosendahl. And then we also have some cards. Okay, C.J. Minster.
Good morning. My name is C.J. Minster. I was born in the 3rd City Council District, raised in the 12th District, attended junior and senior high in the 6th District, and currently live and work in the 11th District. I am the Bring Our War Dollars Home organizer for Code Pink Women for Peace. I'm here today to urge you to follow the recommendation of our Chief Legislative Analyst, Jerry Miller, to adopt the Rosendahl-Koretz resolution to include this in the city's legislative program support for federal legislation that would fund the withdrawal of American troops and contractors from Iraq and Afghanistan, cut the military budget, and redirect all recovered savings to domestic priorities. As Mayor Villaraigosa said to the New York Times, that we would build bridges in Baghdad and Kandahar and not Baltimore and Kansas City absolutely boggles the mind. Code Pink has deep ties to military families and veterans. It is because of our respect for the service provided by our military that I ask you to support this resolution. While I do not believe the U.S. military occupation of Iraq or Afghanistan has made the people of those countries safer, indeed women's rights are curtailed in both countries, you do not have to agree with all of my political views to agree that this resolution deserves to be adopted. Members of Congress from both parties have called for an end to the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq and to redirect the money to nation building here in the United States. Given our city's deep need for infrastructure development, educational funding, and job creation, I urge you to support decreasing the military budget and redirecting the funds to vital needs here in Los Angeles and across the nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rosendahl.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Some people say, well, this isn't a city issue. Well, it is a city issue. We're all impacted by these overseas wars that make no sense whatsoever. We're spending $1 trillion over there. We should be investing in education, health care, and infrastructure. We could get more potholes done, keep libraries open, and keep our parks going as well, keep our police and fire going. The federal issues are so significant for the future of this great nation that we need to focus on ourselves and stop playing big shot all over the earth and spending that kind of money having a very dearless effect on our own country here. When are we going to start realizing it's our time to invest in ourselves and the American people? To see education being cut back for kids, seeing health care for seniors not happening, threatening Medicare, threatening Social Security. It's about time we had leadership in this presidential election on both the Democrat and the Republican side that says no more of these crazy wars. Let's reinvest in our own selves and the future of this great nation. This is a resolution where we're saying at the local level, we in Los Angeles are saying to the federal government, begin to realize that if we don't invest in ourselves, our country is going to go down. And I ask you and encourage you, colleagues, just to let the message go back to Washington, once again saying we've had enough of this foreign wars that make no sense, reinvest in ourselves, reinvest in our health care and our education and the American people. I ask for an aye vote, Madam President.
Ms. Hahn.
Thank you, colleagues. Well, I certainly rise in support of this resolution and want to thank my colleagues for bringing this forward. You know, I was on the City Council when there was first talk of going into Iraq, and this City Council took a position urging the President, urging Congress to be cautious and explore all diplomatic processes before going into Iraq. So this Council has been on that side of being very cautious of entering into war. However, you know, this Council has also been very supportive of troops, right? Every new war, every new action, we take a action on this City Council to make sure that the folks that are going to war who are city employees, we make up the difference between their benefits that they're getting through the military and what they would have if they were city employees. We do that every single time. So we have gone on record, first and foremost, you know, really opposing our efforts going into that war, but we've been very supportive of the troops and the veterans who come home from those wars. But as my colleague Bill Rosendahl said, it is time now to be bringing our troops home. This country, I believe, is war weary. I've been out talking to dozens of people all over, and people are tired of the wars, and they want us to bring our troops home responsibly and in a way that certainly does not hurt, you know, our national security. We always need to be you know, have a defense that's ready and willing and able, but it's time to invade this country with resources. We know that our schools need more resources. We need to spend money creating jobs. We need to get our economy back up and running. There are still people who are without jobs. There are still people who have lost their homes, and it's time to bring these troops home safely and responsibly. I believe there's about 10 or so bills in Congress right now that talk about bringing our troops home safely. So we're going to go on record today as the City of Los Angeles telling our lobbyists back in Washington, D.C., we want to go on record as the second largest city in this country saying we support, it is time now to begin withdrawing our troops. We're spending over $15 billion a month in Iraq and Afghanistan. That just seems to be money that would be better spent here at home, creating jobs, reviving our economy, and investing in education, investing in our infrastructure, investing in clean energy. That's, I think, where this country needs to be moving. Thanks for those of you who came down here in support of that. I think this is consistent, colleagues, with the positions we have always taken as it relates to these wars. Thank you.
Mr. Koretz.
Well, it's an honor to speak after Mr. Rosendahl and Ms. Hahn, who are two council members that couldn't be more supportive of our troops, but recognize that doesn't mean supporting these wars any longer. The war in Iraq never made sense. The war in Afghanistan was to disrupt al-Qaeda and find Osama bin Laden. That's been done. This is costing us hundreds of billions of dollars, disrupting our economy, these are dollars that should be going to our cities and to our states and building infrastructure and rebuilding our economy, and not just wasting lives and wasting money. These wars are now pretty pointless. We need to have LA's voice and the voice of other major cities in the country start to be heard, to push harder, to get our troops withdrawn, get them withdrawn responsibly, but more quickly, and put an end to this. And I appreciate Mr. Rosendahl in bringing forward this measure, and I hope we will unanimously pass a call for a more expeditious and appropriate end to these two wars.
Mr. Labange.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Yesterday was the 4th of July. I got to go to the Hollywood Bowl as the Philharmonic Hollywood Bowl Orchestra played all the military theme songs. All the veterans stood up. And I'm standing up for this resolution, but also thanking the veterans. Also thanking those who are living through these wars that weren't necessarily the right wars, in my opinion, of what has transpired there. And if this is a message that would help our Congress look to the future, America's got to be ready. There are people who do not like us, who don't want to hurt us. But to engage in a situation that even when they compare, that was misspoke by Mr. McCain, if I believe in my C-SPAN watching, that we once were there and we left there before. It was the Russians who left there before, who got beat by the Afghanis in that battle in 1980s and all that time. We're a local body of government, but a local body of government is close to the people of any body. And I think it's a desire that we make this resolution so that people know the importance of what feel the people of Los Angeles think. But I do want to stand and know that people did answer the call for the last 10 years, did give their lives, did give part of their bodies with today's skill and hospitalization on the battlefields. They survived, but with greater challenges than others. So I wanted to say that I do support this, but also to salute those who have served and who are serving around the world. But this message is for our President and for the Congress to act on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Labange. Mr. Rosendahl to close.
Thank you, Madam President. And I put on my veterans hat in great respect to all the veterans of all the wars that have fought for this great nation. Having been a veteran of the Vietnam era, serving stateside as a psychiatric social worker my first year, and working with the general in improving and creating the modern volunteer army, I know firsthand the facts of war. As a psychiatric social worker, I saw 8 or 9 Vietnam vets a day, and I can tell you the stories of war. We have young men and women coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan, and I just might say are not getting the tremendous support they should be getting in helping them get back into this country. We need to do more for our veterans. And we should honor and salute everyone who has served this great nation. Yesterday I was in the parades and shaking hands and talking to people and feeling great that we are blessed to be Americans, and God bless America. And in that same context, it's time that we brought our troops home and reinvested in our health care, our infrastructure, and our education for our own people. It is always the strength internally that makes this nation great. And if we don't start doing that now, our day could be over, and I hope to God it isn't over. So why do we care about this? We care about it because all those monies spent over there could be spent locally on infrastructure, health care, education, dealing with gang reduction and intervention, summer lights program, summer employment program. Last year, the President had a lot of money for us for summer jobs. This year, we have very few. And we're scraping together to do it. Those are the kinds of investments we should be making, is in our own people. That's why I asked for a yes vote on this. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Rosendahl. And with that, Madam Clerk, would you please open the roll on this item, close the roll, then tabulate the vote.
12 ayes, 1 no.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Next item is number 7. Number 7, this is the WIB item, I believe, that we held on the desk. All right, I think Mr. Alarcon is going to make a motion for us. Mr. Alarcon, are you going to make a motion on this one? This is the WIB item.
Yes, Madam Chair, we have the Workforce Investment Board appointees or nominees by the mayor in front of us. There were 2 who were unable to attend the Jobs Committee, and so I'd like to ask them to step forward for Council's consideration. Shamari Davis is in one of the labor positions. She is a representative of IBEW, Local 11, and Felicito Cajayon, he is a representative of in the non-business category, serves at the Los Angeles Community College District. He replaces Marvin Martinez, who also serves in the Community College District. If they would have a seat, and he currently is heavily involved. In fact, I think he runs the Workforce Investment Program for the Community College District, and for those of you who don't know, the Community College District receives the greatest share of workforce investment money from the state of California. So with that,
Shamari Davis.
Shamari Davis.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Can you please tell the council about your background and why you want to be a Workforce Investment Board member?
My name is Shamari Davis. I'm currently a business representative for International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW Local 11. I currently sit on the Los Angeles County Workforce Investment Board, so I'm heavily invested in workforce development for Los Angeles City as well as Los Angeles County. With LA City as one of the greatest emerging cities that's happening right now, especially in the country, with all of the things that are happening, going on, all of the exciting projects and job sector growths that are happening. It would be my honor to be able to be involved at the LA City level for the Workforce Investment Board.
Now, given the previous item, I was curious that, and you probably have some awareness of this, but the veterans who would be returning over the course of the next year, yes. Many of them have lost their jobs or have were not necessarily in a career path that would be their best objective. So we're going to be getting a lot of these soldiers back into our local region, and I'm curious if you could talk a little bit about the veteran services related to the Community College District and services that are provided to them.
I'm not necessarily privy to the community college pieces, but I'll tell you what we have in the construction arena, as well as we have a Helmets to Hard Hats program. Specifically, Local 11, IBEW, has a Helmets to Hard Hats program where we, any individual that is a former soldier, they are able to circumvent our tests, and we take them right to oral interview. And we also have a helmets or a veterans program on the Los Angeles County Workforce Investment Board. So I'm hoping and probably pretty confident that that is happening on the city level as well.
Mr. Alarcon?
Okay, I did want to ask you about SB 766, Desaulniers. Most of the WIBs are opposed to it, but I think it's important for us to understand the nature of the bill. Desaulniers is a great labor advocate, and so it's unusual that he introduced this measure. But if you would explain to my colleagues, this may be coming down the road.
I know that right now there's a lot of talk with SB 776 about the, I know initially it was pushed as 50% of training dollars be pushed for the Workforce Investment Boards, but I know now with the California Workforce Association, they are starting to try to negotiate and amend those so that there can be more local control for some of the workforce investment boards. I think a lot of that was probably a reaction to what's happening where there's less jobs. Maybe it's a good time to have training. But, of course, one size doesn't fit all. So I think they're addressing it by looking at it and trying to amend it so that it's a something that can work for all WIBs, to have more local control to be able to work towards that. Lowering, of course, the training dollars because it doesn't work for everyone. That's the feedback that I've been getting from a lot of the workforce investment boards.
Thank you very much, Mr. Davis. Council members, we in the Jobs Committee recommended all the previous appointments that are reappointments now before us. We also interviewed 4 candidates, Camila Eng, Anita Gabrielan, Ken Phillips, and Willem Wales, and we are recommending them for approval. I now recommend Shamari Davis as a labor representative, and I did want to add that he's extremely involved. His affiliations include, as described in your packet, his affiliations include service with the Electrical Workers Minority Caucus, involvement with the A. Philip Randolph Institute, the Southern Christian Leadership Council's Poor People's Campaign, and City South Los Angeles Faith-Based Construction Initiative. He's a very active participant in our community, but most notably on labor-related issues, and so I think we should welcome him to service in this capacity. With regard to Felicito Cajayon, she, I don't believe is present. Therefore, I would ask that we hold that appointment on the desk.
So you want to hold the appointment of
Felicito Cajayon
on the desk?
Yes, but she did not come to committee.
She didn't go to committee, and she's not present. She's not present at this time. Okay, we may have to continue that one. Is that time sensitive, Madam Clerk? All right. Why don't we then open the roll? There's no speakers in the queue on Mr. Davis, so why don't we open the roll on Mr. Davis? Close the roll, then tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Congratulations. And we will hold the other appointment or continue the other appointment.
There were reappointments and other appointments recommended.
Yeah, all right, let's open the roll on the reappointments list indicated by Mr. Alarcon.
And the other new appointments.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You're mumbled.
And the other new appointments.
All right, so are we still holding one on the desk?
Just one.
With the exception of?
Hold on a second.
Why don't you read the list?
Let me read the list again. There were quite a few new appointments. Let me go through the list. The recommendation was to approve Carol Anderson from LA Trade Tech, Richard Benbow, Community Development Department, David Flax, Los Angeles Economic Development Corporation, Sean Fonder, Lundgren Management Group in the business category, Jackie Honoré, YWCA, Job Corps in the non-business category, Victoria Kane, Portfolio Hotel and Resorts, business representative Dongwoo Lee, Cal State University, Los Angeles, non-business related, Art Lopez, North American Security, business appointment, Frank Miramontes, retiree from the Department of Water and Power, IBEW Local 18, as a labor representative, Jackie Mizell Burt, the County of Los Angeles Department of Public Services, as a non-business related, Ruth Lopez Novador, Beverly Oncology and Imaging Medical Group. In the business category, Robert Salcedo, Schneider Electric Energy Solutions. In the business category, Frank Velasco, California Department of Rehab, non-business related. In the new appointment, those were all reappointments. In the new appointment category, we're recommending Camila Eng, J.M. Eagle, as business rep, Anita Gabrielian, excuse me, from AT&T. In the business category, Ken Phillips, Valley Economic Alliance. In the business category, Willem Wales, Technoplex Incorporated. In the business category, and now Shamari Davis from IBEW in the labor category. And we're asking that we hold on the desk Felicito Cajayon in the non-business category. hold on the desk or actually continue the item.
You wanted to hold on the desk until
the next meeting, I guess.
Well, we're almost done. This is the last
Let's
time.
just hold it till the next meeting. I don't.
Okay. So we want to continue it until the next meeting.
Yeah.
All right. With that one exception, Mr. Reyes, did you want to?
Forthwith on 12, please.
Okay. Okay. With the exception of the one person, Mr. Alarcon wants to continue. Let's open the roll on the list that he just read into the record. Oh, Mr. Rosendahl, do you want to speak before we vote?
Yeah, I was just, from an administrative standpoint, looking at this. It says submit without recommendations the mayor reappointments, and then it lists all the names that Mr. Alarcon mentioned. I'm just wondering why there isn't a discussion about this, who these people are, the mayor speak, whatever the story is. It's like a ho-hum, and maybe that's appropriate. Or should we continue this?
Well, I think the members of the
I just don't know. I just
the members
curious,
of the committee.
that's all.
All right, members of the committee should have discussed that in committee. That's the purpose of having a jobs
Yeah, that's all I just want to know.
As I've stated, we interviewed 4 of the new appointments. The reappointments, we recognize their work and recommend that we continue to allow them to serve in this capacity. And then there were 2 who did not show up to committee. We had Shamari Davis present today, and the final person, Felicito. I have 3 different spellings on that, so I apologize to Felicito, and Felicito. But she is not here, and she did not go to committee, so we're asking to continue that matter.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Rosendahl. So with that, we will continue the appointment on Ms. Felicito till tomorrow in the event that she shows up. Otherwise, open the roll on the remaining individuals, close the roll, and then tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
All right, thank you, and congratulations to Mr. Davis. All right, Madam Clerk, what's our next item?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
Those motions are posted and referred.
There's an excuse on the desk. Councilmember Perry requests to be excused on September 6th for personal business, and that meets council policy.
Without objection?
That clears the desk.
Oh, Mr. Krikorian. Yes.
Thank you, Madam President. If I may, as I think all of the members know, the Board of Public Works has an annual high school internship program, an exceptional program that allows high school students from throughout the city of Los Angeles to come and participate in city government, both in the public and private sector internships that allows them to be exposed to what we do here and particularly what the Board of Public Works does. And we're joined today by many of those high school students from throughout Los Angeles. There's going to be, I think, 51 of them participating in the program, and I just wanted to rise to welcome them to City Council chambers and to ask you all to join me in welcoming them who are here with us today. Why don't you guys stand up? Everybody stand up.
Mr. Alarcon.
I just wanted to apologize to Felicito again because apparently it's a male, and I said it was a female, so I apologize for that.
Thank you, Mr. Alarcon. Members, any other? Mr. Parks.
I want to make sure that the public, and particularly residents of 8th District that have called us about this, that the last meeting for the LADWP issue on their water and power rates will be Wednesday, July the 6th at the headquarters, 111 North Hope Street. And also one other announcement that on Fresh and Easy's Market 52nd and Crenshaw, the zoning administrator hearing will be held on July 19th at 4:30 at the Constituent Center at 8475 South Vermont regarding their request for a liquor license.
Thank you, Mr. Parks. Members, any other announcements? Any other announcements?
Yesterday was a great day, and there was a great CNN program, 50 states, about immigration and naturalization. Nancy Pelosi's daughter produced it, and if you get a chance, it's on HBO. It talks about the great struggle and the great success and why people want to become Americans and how they become Americans, and in the unique ways throughout the states and federal courthouses in Montana and Florida. And it was a tremendous show on HBO, which I saw on CNN. well worth watching. 50 States Roadshow. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Labange. All right, members, and then everyone in the chamber, if you would please rise for adjourning motions. Members, any adjourning motions? All right.
I just say we remember everybody went before us, and God bless everyone.
Thank you. All right. Well, with that, Madam, thank you, Madam Clerk, if you would please call the roll. Thank you very much, everyone. The meeting is adjourned.